So what's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. This is Mando with M Traders. We're going to be talking about natural gas and also the indexes. You know, the market is extremely bearish so far, you know, and I did mention a lot of these points of what came to be today. A lot of the stuff that happened today, actually I mentioned it last week in my last video, which I'm gonna make sure that I posted it right up here, somewhere up here on the corner of the video. So make sure you click on that link so you can kind of correlate, okay, what did I say, what happened, what actually happened, what was I playing. And in this case, I was actually playing shorts last week. I did not play any equities over the weekend. I did play commodities, so I did play natural gas, which I already sold. And I'm gonna go over my plays and what I think it's going to happen coming up. So make sure you guys stay tuned and see you shortly. So what's going on, guys? Welcome to my channel. We're going to be talking about the S&P and also the S&P 500 index and also the overall market conditions and what I think it's going to happen. Again, I want you guys to remember this is not any type of financial advice. It's just my personal opinion on what I think the market's going to do. So far, so good. All the calls that I made have played out. Is there any times where it might not? Of course, right? Otherwise, I will be multi-millionaire. However, I'm not. So for the time being, I'm just going to go over some of the opinions that I have and what I think is going to happen. If you guys were watching my video before, right, I did talk about this bear flag. If you follow me in stock tweets or Twitter, you guys got firsthand on what I think the market was going to do. If you guys do not know how to contact me, there it is right over here, and just follow me on Twitter or in stock tweets. So again, Twitter is _M_traders, and for stock tweets it's M_traders. So there's an underscore difference in between them two. So make sure you guys do follow me there, and I'll be more than happy on helping you out on any type of opinions that I may have in regards to the market. Also, make sure you look at the description down below. I do have the link for the Discord group where I'm mostly active, and it's basically real time question and answer, and other traders also post a lot of their ideas and what they think is going to happen. So that being said, let's get back to it. Again, on when was it, on March 5th, I did posted this huge bear flag. A lot of people say no, we're gonna go higher highs. Not really. So this is a daily chart. On the daily chart, we saw that it actually we had the bear flag actually proceeded. It broke through the bear flag and it went all the way down to 27.15. If you saw it in my last video, which again it'll be posted somewhere in that corner right over there, so make sure you click on that video. I did talk about my level of support will be around 2700. Why 2700? Well, based on, I think it's between 26 and 2700. It's due to the EMAs. I like to play the EMAs a lot. So looking at the daily, you see this bear flag trying to move higher and higher, but it was actually being rejected on this EMA, which is the EMA 9. So the EMA 9 was acting as resistance. We rejected once, twice, 3 times, and finally kept dropping to 2700. So we're going to be looking also at the 3-year weekly. And the 3-year weekly, I had drawn a support based on previous price action, a support line around 2700 area, which is right about here. We saw that it bounced from here. If there's one line of defense, it will have to be this area right over here, which it'll be about the 2700 area. Again, areas are areas of support. You can go lower, you can go higher, you can break below the area of support and you can still bounce back, but that's the first area of support that I see for the indexes where we might have a pullback. So on the weekly, the EMA 9 is still has not crossed over the EMA 55. So that's another thing for the bulls that might be helpful, the actual EMA line. However, the price did drop below EMA 9, EMA 55, and EMA 100. So, and we closed below it, but this is the first line of support that I see. So just keep an eye on this. If there's going to be some type of technical bounce, it should happen from here. Also, we're going to be looking at the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, it's amazing how these EMAs play out. So EMA 9 on the 4 hour, we see that it barely touched right over here. It barely touched the EMA 9 and rejected. We went lower. Looking at the monthly, because you got to look at every single different type of time frame, because you got to look at the big picture, not just intraday. Yeah, so here it is, 2600 is the next level of support. If we do break below this, 2600 would have to be it, if we're going to bounce. If we're not, then we're looking, you know, going back down to the recession of 2008, just because the momentum will be pretty high, and it'll keep, in my opinion, it'll keep dropping and dropping and dropping. So 2600 is my my next level of support after the 2700. We might find some type of resistance, or I mean support, right around the 50% retracement line on the Fibonacci. This is on the monthly chart, which is about 2360. And I think it's going to correlate with the EMA 100. So EMA 100 and Fibonacci, they're going to correlate, and it's going to be an area of support, a pretty strong area of support, if we are to break below the EMA 55. So that being said, what do I think is going to happen? We might have a short-term pullback, right? Because we are already in oversold conditions. And we might want to pull back. So again, we are right on the RSI. We are below that 30 points line. So we're right below. We're again in oversold conditions. So a technical pullback is most likely going to happen for tomorrow. And I did had a swing on calls for the S&P, just because of this. So the technical pullback, I'm trying to get some money out of it before it keeps going down, if that's the case and it keeps going down. Of course, again, watch the markets, watch the news, something I do very often, and we'll go from there. Now let's move on over to natural gas. So natural gas, I like to do the hourly. If you guys saw on my last video, I said that 1.73 area of support was going to be pretty strong. We did bounce a couple of times in the 1 hour. However, I did went ahead and towards the end of the day, around 1.70, did bought some calls. I did buy some calls. We saw it drop, but in the morning when it opened, it came, the volume was extremely high. It got rejected from the EMA 100, but that 1 hour candle really told me a lot that it was going to keep going up. So I held my calls for UNG, and basically once it reached 1.77, I was happy with my profits, since I had 100 calls in my contract, and sold it. Closed all my position. Yes, I missed out in 3 more cents, but not gonna complain. I stuck to my plan. I was very happy at 1.77. Sold my calls, and one of the main reasons I think natural gas is being pumped, I mean, I kind of saw a double bottom right over here. Yes, we crashed below that, but I just saw a double bottom right over here. And if we look at a 3-year weekly, which if you saw my videos back in December, I said that we were going to touch 1.60, 1.61. And we did touch 1.60, 1.61. Right here. This was back in 2016. You saw that it is a support line, right at 0% retracement. The lowest one it has been is 1.61. I think here was right around 1.60. So 1.6, 1.60. However, that was a previous support, and right before that, it actually went up, and it was actually in the month of March. We saw a reversal, and it kept going on an uptrend for another 3 years. For another 3 years, you just kept going on an uptrend. So that's why I wasn't too concerned. I said if it falls below 1.64, I don't think it's gonna hold. It was a pretty key level of psychological support. We see the first actual candle right at that Fibonacci of 0% retracement, and that's why I swung the calls. Basically because we were very close to 1.60, 1.61. So that being said, I am still long natural gas, just because the oil prices, since they're so low, this is just speculative. So it's not 100%, set in stone. But I think because of the oil prices going so much down, it's gonna create the producers to actually start cutting in oil. So when you start cutting significantly in oil, or production cuts in oil, that's gonna also affect the price of natural gas, because you're not gonna have as much production of natural gas. And I think the injection season is gonna be much higher this year, and probably we're looking between $3 and $4 for MMBTU. Especially we got the summer coming in. So summer is coming in. Power burn is going to happen. We're going to create a lot more electricity. And now if this coronavirus is still going on by the summer, a lot more people are going to be staying home, utilizing more natural gas for their AC units. Probably also for maybe some manufacturing facilities, some offices. Not too sure. But if you're going to stay at home for long periods of time, the electricity is going to go high, the demand is going to go high, and the supply, due to crude oil being so low, is going to create this companies or the producers to cut in production, which it'll affect also natural gas indirectly, but is going to affect the supply of natural gas. That being said, that's all I have for today. Hopefully you guys did found this video useful, and make sure you do subscribe. Look at the previous videos. I highly suggest looking at them, because it's going to give you kind of an overall understanding of what I thought it was going to happen, especially if you saw my videos between November and December, when prices were about probably $2.90 on natural gas. Prices kept going lower, right? And I said when it was about 2.98, prices will fall below $2. And later on I said prices will go to about 1.6, and 1.6 is the perfect timing to go long, which I did, and I was very happy that I did. If you guys got any other question, comments, make sure you put in the comments down below, and thanks for watching.